This is Whiskey Dix, and you're listening to the DU Football Show. Football!
Yes.
I fucking love it. I love having a genuine rock star do our opening for us.
Hey, well, when it's the heavy metal football derby, what do you expect?
Exactly. Oh, tonight is going to be an interesting one, Mr. Graham, as we have decided to just turn the air conditioning on and we're dripping in sweat.
Yeah.
Huh? We'll be all right. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smell the Malort. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the man with a lot of things going on. Over there, Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing?
Not too bad. And picking up that conversation, a funny thing just entered my head that I thought we could explore very quickly.
Sure.
Who would you get to play you in the biopic of yourself?
Michael Chiklis.
All right, that was quick. You've thought about that before.
Drew Barrymore.
I was going to say Robert Downey Jr.
For me?
For me,
Oh.
not for you.
You think? For you? Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr.?
Yeah, a fuckboy that uses any reason he possibly can to not be sober.
Except for he's
actor-
sober all the time now.
The actor
Well,
that
now he
plays
is.
Roy
Yeah, I'm
Kent.
talking about like his reputation.
Ah, true.
No, definitely the actor that plays Roy Kent.
Yeah, definitely the actor.
You
that
know
plays
who Roy Kent is? Oh, wait.
You didn't watch
Have
it
you
while you were on
watched it yet?
vacation.
Not yet. No,
We have
we explored that already.
We have
as
a
well last
whole
week.
super show that we
Yeah,
need to
we're
do.
planning. Like
So
Simon's
we're waiting
ready.
on you to fucking listen to. We could have
Okay.
done it this week, but you know,
Sorry, I got
something
stuff.
during the international break.
Listen, I got a lot going on over here.
Yeah, you do. A lot going on over here. The Sam Graham story. We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. As usual, it is at DU Football Show on the social medias when they decide to work. If they don't work, you can always email us, dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. Of course, we've got our Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/DU Football Show to sign up one of the top 2 tiers, and you'll get a bunch of bonus content, which is awesome. And then, of course, we have the DU Drip Shack.
I see you wearing a Dort Spirek shirt right now.
Yes, sir.
Mel is sporting a Villanista shirt,
That's right.
which I do not know why Her Highness has not bought a Villanista shirt yet.
Yeah, she'll get around to it.
No, that's true. She is, you know.
You know, the other Villanista that listens to the show. And if there's a third one of you out there, please reach out.
No, we had the lovely young lady and her husband that live in Belgium.
Are they
That-
still listening? Because I will ship you a shirt to Belgium.
You got to reach out. Let us know if you're still listening to everything. And if you can tell me to have more Mel, because that's what everybody says. More Mel, please.
Everybody says it.
Well, if everybody was right, they'd have a microphone in front of them.
Exactly. Also want to point out real quick, we got a great little tweet from our fellow Toffee from the ATL, Andrew. Just wanted to tweet to us from last week, something you talked about. I once broke a rib at a Flogging Molly show in Columbus. Also sold the drummer's brother. Pretty sure he was an exec at Side One Dummy, a BlackBerry back when I worked at AT&T.
Nice.
So just tying all of our stories together there, nice and easy.
That's
right?
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Keep sending the tweets and all the fun stuff when we got
Yeah, share stories, man. I want to, like, have you ever sold anybody famous anything? That's a fun trope.
Mm-hmm.
What'd they buy? How were they to deal with? All that kind of stuff.
How blackout drunk were you at a concert one time?
Yeah, those are good stories.
Did you try to thumb your best friend's taint while he was wearing a skirt? Yeah, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both share a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, we have been talking about Bloody Mary so fucking much, I decided to make a pitcher.
Yes, we do have a pitcher of Bloody Marys that you made, and we are using the Holla vodka out of Pennsylvania. It is a pickle-flavored vodka. This is their Salvadilli, in conjunction with Epic Pickles, which is a local company to them. This bottle runs between $19.99 and $24.99, and it is also full proof, 80 proof on this one.
For
which
flavors,
is pretty good.
yeah, normally most flavors are a little bit
less,
volume.
60 to 70, usually 70, but 60 to 70.
And
I haven't had this straight yet. We just you just brought the bottle into the room, so we just got it. It does have a kind of a very faint green tint to it. I assume from the soaking of pickles.
Well, all of their vodkas are made with 100% natural ingredients. So like their pumpkin actually has a little bit of a brownish hue to it from the pumpkin spice that's in it, and their mint has a little bit of a green because of obviously the mint as well. They do a pawpaw, which is the little fruits that you see all over the ground in the great state of Maryland and Pennsylvania that looks like a pear and looks like an apple. You kind of had a baby.
Like crab apples?
Yeah. They're called pawpaw. And they actually made a pawpaw flavor as well.
I knew them by their government name.
Yeah, exactly.
Crab apples.
Crab apples.
That's that PG County name.
Yeah. But the fun thing about the brand, it's all natural.
I don't have any more room over here.
Here, I will take the vodka. You can hand me the vodka, Mel.
The vodka's under the table.
Okay, very good. Which is where we will be after we finish
shortly
this
enough.
of,
Yes,
Bloody Marys. But a lot of people go, oh no, another flavored vodka. Their answer is exactly not another flavored vodka. Like we're going to do things differently. We're going to do fun flavors. We're going to use all natural ingredients, and we're going to give a shit about who we make it for and where we make it at.
Yeah, and it's delicious, actually. It's a strong dill flavor to it.
What about the Bloody Mary mix?
So the mix, yeah. This is Gunther's Gourmet Chesapeake Reserve Bloody Mary mix with blue crab in it. It is fat-free, all natural ingredients as well. But if you're allergic to crustaceans, I suggest you stay away from this one.
Yeah.
This one actually ran you, I can see it right here, $11.99.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Did you peel the sticker off before you give a gift, Mel? Isn't
It's
that how
not a
supposed to work?
gift. It's not a gift. You're just reading a bottle. Left it on there purposely. I bought that bottle, put it in my pantry, then made a fucking Bloody Mary pitcher out of it. But with the Bloody Mary, I decided let the ingredients sing. Don't do too much. I mean, obviously, there's a lot you can do to a Bloody Mary. You can add hot sauces and Worcestershire and stuff like that. This is vodka, the Bloody Mary mix, 2 whole fresh lemons, because I feel that is a key to any Bloody Mary is adding citrus. It kind of helps.
Brightens it up a bit.
Yeah, and it's not as thick of a drink. Then I put some celery bitters in it, since we obviously weren't working with any celery in the glass tonight. And then for the rimmer, I put Old Bay hot sauce all the way around it and sprinkled Old Bay on it, since there's crab. So, and Mel is licking the glass and drinking the Bloody Mary as we speak.
Mel's almost halfway done.
Look at his is just as bad. He only has a little bit left too.
I didn't do all the way around the full glass. I did, the front part of the glass. So, and there she goes looking again. All right, let's get into it, kids.
Let's do it to it.
Yeah, they're a little fuller.
Clinking the the Old Bay side. Half it'll be on his cup.
Now I have half of his Old Bay on my cup. Yay!
More for her. That's good. While you're enjoying that lovely cup, Mel, why don't you go ahead and hit the fucking mute button?
You know what?
You dicks should listen more to Mel, so...
I hit the mute button.
The top of the table is ever-changing, week to week, as 2 heavyweights faced off. Another almost looked past their opponent, but still managed to get the victory, as another did look past their opponent and fucked it right off. Liverpool 2, Man City 2, Chelsea 3, Southampton 1, Everton 1, Manchester United 1. Liverpool, Man City, the match lived up to the hype. Well, really, the second half lived up to the hype.
So there was some decent football in the first half, but there weren't very many chances created, really. Nothing really on target from either side. There was maybe 1 or 2 saves, but wasn't really fantastic. It was fast-paced, and the football was decent. So it was still exciting to watch, but really nothing happened.
Yeah.
The second half is obviously where it all kicked off, and
Boy, did it.
All but Kevin De Bruyne's goal was brilliant.
Oh, God, yeah.
Were fucking fantastic. I mean, and one thing that'll never get remembered because it didn't result in a goal, but was an awesome piece of play was Bernardo Silva's little jinky run.
Mm-hmm.
Was excellent.
Yep.
But you're not going to remember that because the quality of the goals were so good. Yeah. De Bruyne's goal's not going to get remembered. It was a deflection.
Yeah.
But I mean, he still had to stay composed. I can't tell you how many times I've blazed that exact chance over the bar.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he still had a lot to do there.
Well, and also very interesting, Mane gets the first goal and then almost immediately the answer's back with Phil Foden, which honestly, him and the false nine seems to be working.
Yeah, so far. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they're kind of trading that. It seems to be mostly his position as an attacking midfielder, but him and Bernardo Silva kind of switched off here and there.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish even stepped into that false nine from time to time. And in this instance, when Phil Foden overlapped Grealish was the one that ran in the middle and created that space for him. But he found that far corner really well, smashed it with his laces. And I love the angle. I don't know how they found it. And I don't know how the guy thought to do it, but it was brilliant. That cameraman deserves a raise because he just set his camera what appeared to be on the fucking ground, looking straight at that corner, and you can see within an inch of the post.
Yep.
Phil Foden's shot. Yeah, it was gorgeous. I mean, that's a poster. Yep. You know what I mean?
And then Mo Salah's goal was
absolutely brilliant.
Jesus.
He stepped past defenders like they weren't even there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, what were they doing? And then struck on his weaker foot. With that accuracy, just kissed off the inside of the post. Fucking come on.
Yeah, Mo is gonna have a go this season. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him as the leading goal scorer. The way that he's just been, the goals he's scoring are effortless.
Yeah,
and they're brilliant goals, and he is scoring them effortlessly. He's tapped in. You can tell he's tapped in this season.
And the pass that he had for Mane for the opener, fucking perfectly weighted. It was brilliant.
Now,
it was brilliant. It was the perfect end to a fantastic counterattack. I mean, they were down the field in less than 8 seconds.
Yeah.
9 seconds.
Absolutely.
You know, it's awesome. And Mane with the composure to pull the finish off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the whole thing was fantastic.
Now, something we don't normally say, we very, very, very rarely say, the weak spot on Liverpool was very clear and obvious, and it was James Milner. And that's not something you normally say.
No, because he typically outperforms in preseason, at least, and all the testing and everything.
And he can go anywhere, and he seems to be fine anywhere.
Yeah.
He looked his age and shouldn't have been on the pitch.
I think part of the problem wasn't necessarily his age or his inability to run, because he still has both of those. He still has a youthful exuberance, and he still has the ability to perform that. Mm-hmm. I think the problem was mentally, honestly. I think it was Phil Foden's movement.
Mm-hmm. Which is working him.
He could not keep track of him. Period. And if they're even the same pace, if Phil Foden's got a half a step on him, he looks a half a step slow.
Right.
Because they're moving at the same rate of speed, right? I don't think Phil Foden's a particularly fast player. He's a little pacey, but you wouldn't put him in the same category as Raheem Sterling or Kyle Walker. Not even close. I think it was his movement. He just couldn't keep track of him, honestly. Yeah. And it was his job to man mark him.
And I mean, I think everybody in the world, with the exception of Jurgen Klopp, all agrees that should have been a second yellow.
Well, remember, Klopp didn't see the challenge.
Yeah, should have been a second
yellow. He pulled a
yellow.
Wenger.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it. I'll have to look back at the replay.
Yeah. But yeah, so the reason it didn't get looked at by VAR is because it was only a yellow card offense, potentially, and the referee on the field decided that it was not going to show that card, so that's it. Because even if he would have received a red for the second yellow, the incident itself in isolation is a yellow card incident. And
right, it's not that is serious foul play, so they're not going to look at it.
That is outside of VAR's purview. Although I would argue that it is a clear and obvious error that the referee didn't call that.
Yes. He called the foul. He just didn't give a card.
Right.
He walked over and gave you're lucky I'm letting you get away with that. And this is what I have to offer to you for a general question. Do refs call it different with certain matches in certain teams?
Yes. Saw that with Fergie time in the way, stoppage time was given at Old Trafford. the way penalties are called at Old Trafford in general. Certain situations, it took Dirk Kuyt drop kicking somebody to get a red card finally in that Merseyside derby.
Which is funny
they
because
let things
Everton,
go a bit.
Which is funny because Everton get tons of reds in Merseyside derbies. We remember Jack Rodwell getting one in the opening 3 minutes of the match on the teething racist. And you looked at it, and it wasn't even a yellow. It wasn't even a yellow. It was just a trip in the middle of the field. And he saw straight red for that shit.
By the way, just real quick while we're on it, since you brought his name up, Luis Suarez, who is...
The teething racist?
Yeah, who is all shithousery personified into one human being.
Oh, yeah. The battle for
scored
King
again.
shithousery is between Diego Costa and Luis Suarez.
Scored against Barca at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
In Atletico's win. Run to the corner flag. Picks his finger and his thumb up to make a phone call. Apparently complained when they asked about Ronald Koeman coming in and him being moved on. He said that he found it kind of disrespectful for what he had done from the club because it was a very short phone call is how he found out that he was surplus to requirements at Barcelona.
So he made a phone call.
Did the phone call and then asked about it in the interview afterwards, and he gave a fucking terrible reason. It was like, it's because my kids still live here in Barcelona and I'm in Madrid. Let them know that my phone number was still the same and they could call me whenever they want.
If you're going to be a teething racist, be a full-blown teething racist.
It was brilliant.
At least the king of shithousery, Jamie Vardy, owns his shit, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, think about, we talked about this earlier in the car. When it's pissing it down with rain, similar to the conditions that were at Brighton and Arsenal this weekend. Right. You've seen referees. We've been in games where referees let you get away with a little bit more because it's harder to stop your momentum, and you slide a little bit further and all that kind of stuff. And you may lose your footing and bowl into somebody that you normally wouldn't. So yes, teams get preferential treatment. Michael Jordan, LeBron James. We see that in this country all the time. We see that overseas with Neymar, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right.
We see it in the stoppage time, like I said, with Sir Alex Ferguson. We've seen that, all over the place. So yeah, the referees, you got to believe they're also human, right? So their opinion of what's happening on the field is going to be influenced by the conditions, by the atmosphere, by everything else. I talked about the only reason Son got the red card when he broke Andre Gomez's ankle.
Yeah.
The referee sees his foot turn the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't necessarily a red card challenge. We talked about it at the time. Right? Then he's got the entire stadium on his back as well.
Right.
So he initially, gave a yellow in that instance. And then finally...
Lars will say the same thing about Leeds with the Elliott foul. That...
Right.
Was it the atmosphere and the injury that caused the red and not the actual
actual tackle itself? Yeah. So you have to think, yes, absolutely. Those things influence, they're human beings. The occasion sometimes gets to referees, right?
Yeah.
Most referees, Mike Dean excluded, of course, don't want to be the headline. As they shouldn't want to be the headline.
Dino wants to be the headline.
Yeah. So giving a red card in the 3rd minute of a derby makes the referee
the headline.
The story makes the referee the headline because now the entire match is changed, right? And if it's something innocuous, it makes it all about them.
Now, final question I have for you about this, and this will lead into Chelsea as well. Will a club pull away, or do we think it's going to be a dogfight of 3-4 teams the whole fucking season?
I personally think it'll be a dogfight.
Yeah.
Now
I'm here for it. I hope it is. I hope it is.
It, of course, depends when they come up against each other, how the other clubs do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Chelsea has already lost to City. When Chelsea play Liverpool, if they lose and City win again, obviously Liverpool will have won because they would have beaten Chelsea.
Right.
If City and Liverpool both win that, that's 3 more points.
Right.
That they're ahead. Because Liverpool won the same weekend that Chelsea lost.
It makes City's win even bigger.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So they can now if Chelsea dominate Liverpool and win that game, that brings everybody a little closer together again.
Right.
You know what I mean? That tightens everything up. So
far
it's going to be how they perform against each other, because you would expect all 3 teams to go out and beat Southampton, for instance.
Right.
Beat us.
Right. Well, so far in those 3 head-to-heads, we have a draw with Chelsea, Liverpool. We have a draw with Liverpool, City. and we have City beating Chelsea.
Right.
So that's what we have so far. And that's going to be a very fun thing to kind of watch.
Yeah.
And the fourth one, Manchester United, keep fucking it off against teams like Villa and Everton. They ain't going to be in the conversation for very long.
So I have something to say about this.
Let's go ahead and do Southampton, Chelsea first, and then we'll talk a little bit more about United and Everton.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the match was really actually fairly even for the most part during the first half. Like the Saints weren't going away. I mean, obviously Chelsea held more of the possession and seemed to be more in control, but it felt just like what the Saints did against City and what the Saints did against United.
Yeah.
They were ready to go, we're going to play the dogfight and we're going to hold you out.
Yeah, so what I started with here is I said up until the James Ward-Prowse red card, this was a pretty frustrating afternoon for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they, again, had the possession, had the chances, but
McCarthy standing on his fucking head.
Yeah, McCarthy was awesome.
That save.
The entire defense stayed switched on, and a lot of it, I think, was boiled down to Omiyu Romeo.
Yeah.
Was back.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, he helps a ton.
Well, he's the most experienced player in that team. Remember, he used to play for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Most experienced player in that team, and really the midfield general in there that keeps everything together. A very serviceable defensive midfielder.
Oh,
and
absolutely. He's why they let Højbjerg go.
Completely the linchpin to what everything that Southampton do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
and it also allows Ward-Prowse to get free and start passing and be more box to box.
Without him, they've been shite the last few weeks. They've also had a few injuries up front, which doesn't help because they can't score goals.
Right.
But here you go, he's back, and big surprise, they're a little bit more organized.
That save off of Timo Werner from McCarthy, that is world fucking class.
That was dirty.
Got that big mitt out there and just, I mean, the ball's going in the back of the net. There's no doubt about it. And then you just see this arm fly out and go, nope. The old Dikembe Mutombo. No. That was fucking brilliant.
No doubt.
And then, unfortunately, the red card happens.
Yes. So, me and you kind of differ of opinion on this a little bit. The reason this was looked at by VAR is because it was a red card offense. They were able to revisit it, even though the referee on the pitch only showed a yellow, is because it was endangering the safety of an opponent, or serious foul play. I don't remember what they actually
serious foul play
judged it for. Now, I think this tackle was reckless. If I did this in a game, I would expect to be sent off.
Okay.
His body was not touching the ground. Now, I get it. He's lunging for the ball. But if that's the case, then why did his trailing leg come through the other leg of Jorginho? He was nowhere near the ball, to be honest. I mean, Jorginho had it, and it was in front of him, and he had just flicked it away. Fair enough.
He didn't flick it away. He lost control of it.
But he went completely through the player.
Yeah.
And I said, he wasn't sliding in. Yep. You know, his body was completely off the ground. If it was an inch or two up his leg, it could have snapped his leg in half.
I don't disagree that it's a red card. It's a red card. I think that he makes that tackle. He goes for that ball simply because Jorginho fucked it off. Like, Jorginho mishit it. And if he gets any of that ball, it's probably not even called as a foul.
No.
Now, obviously, he did not get the ball, and it's unfortunate. I think it's the second red card he's gotten in like 8 years. In the
Something like
Prem.
that, yeah.
Like, and you lose him. I'm sorry, that's it. Spine's gone.
Done.
It's over. It's done. Like, you want to talk about players on teams that if they lose, it's dire.
James
Ward-Prowse is absolutely that player, and that's a straight red.
Well,
that went from a yellow to a straight red.
Yeah.
That's 3 out.
He's the one with the
not
keys.
Good.
He's the one that unlocks the defenses, right? I mean, we said this about James Maddison for Leicester, about, certain players. He's the one with the keys, and if he's not around, it's trouble.
He's every free kick. He's every penalty. Yep. He's every corner. He is everything to that team. And then after that, Chelsea took over. But I would say it was very interesting. Tuchel, not having Mount right now, had to go a little bit deeper on the bench and start seeing Ruben Loftus-Cheek start and perform.
Yep.
Barkley comes in, and on that second goal, nobody talks about it, but it was that pass.
What a pass.
He took a second from the green crayon and just Woo!
It's like them last
Nasty.
last three brain cells kicked on and measured that ball perfectly.
Fucking nasty. I mean,
that ball
absolutely
to Cesar
nasty.
Azpilicueta was fucking phenomenal. That could end up being one of the passes of the season.
It was gorgeous. Absolutely
it was fantastic. Perfect first time cross as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then further fucking my fantasy team. Timo Werner steps in front of Romelu Lukaku and puts it away for his first Chelsea goal in what seems like 5 years, even though he's only been there for 2.5.
Yeah, and then he had the one taken away early on for a foul, and then he also...
Which definitely was a foul, by the way.
Oh, yeah, then he has the McCarthy save. It's like, nothing's ever going to go in. And how about that? Within 2 yards of the goal, he managed to keep the ball on the ground. Apparently, he's been listening to Big Rom.
Right.
Tuchel pointed at him and said, see what Rom does? You need to do this.
Do that, yeah.
He did it.
Well, so what did we say? Did we make the joke? You're usually better at remembering the jokes than we are. Did we make the joke about the one person that should be least scared about Timo Werner is his girlfriend's father because he always misses?
No, I would have remembered that one, I think. HR might have given you a call on that one.
Oh, yeah. HR would definitely want to have a talk with you on that one.
Still funny.
But the bigger thing
as most HR violations are.
Is look at Tuchel using his bench, bringing back kind of guys from, quote, the dead, Yeah. To kind of fill in and play. And they performed in the midweek in, I know Loftus-Cheek did in the Champions League play. And it just the tinkerer, the fucking chess master.
Yep.
Finding another fucking pawn to turn into something great, making it work.
Now, a lot of those players, as you said earlier, needed to shake off a bit of rust, right? I mean, they haven't really been involved in the first team for real, besides training, obviously.
That was Barkley's first team appearance for Chelsea in the Premier League in over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took him a minute to settle in, but he finally did. And being in training with him, it looks like the spirit's good. I mean, everybody celebrated together after each goal.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed like they knew what they were doing. So he's obviously working on something special over there. They just got to find that consistency.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now let's go ahead and talk about the last one.
Ben Chilwell's. Is that what you're talking about?
Please. Yeah, go ahead.
So this was the first of two that I saw where goalkeepers made fantastic saves, but they were still called goals because they made those saves about an inch behind the line.
Yes.
And it was a very kind of a comedy of errors, if you will.
We'll be talking about the next one in the next segment.
From Chelsea, where they hit the post twice somehow. Lukaku hit the post, and then I think it was Azpilicueta, maybe Werner, got the rebound, put it against the angle, falls out wide to Ben Chilwell, and the technique. I thought he was just going to put the ball back in the mixer, just fire it across the face of goal. And the way he caught that ball so sweetly, side volley with his laces, kept it down and just fizzed it at a very, very tight angle. Mm-hmm. And McCarthy did everything he could. I mean, he was equal to it. He was just an inch behind.
Yep.
And made the save. And it was, in this instance, thank God for technology, right?
Right.
And the old watch buzzed, and they were awarded the goal.
And 3 points.
It was a fantastic strike.
Good 3 points for Chelsea, considering that bulk of that game seemed like it was going to be very frustrating.
Yeah, and it is kind of anticlimactic when a beautiful hit like that doesn't hit the back of the net.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of annoying and a little anticlimactic because you want volleys like that to just bulge.
Rip through the net.
Yeah.
Exactly. So moving on to the last one. United, you're not going to be in the championship talk if you continue to lose at home to Villa and then draw at home, should have lost at home to Everton. Everton should have beat you.
Rephrase. Those two results are indicative of being fully involved in championship talk. Not title contention.
Yeah, exactly.
But championship talk.
I heard.
And that's for all of you twats on the old interwebs that started the season talking shit about me and my voice.
Yeah, Jesus.
United absolutely dominated possession. They absolutely.
But expected, like, what Rafa's going to do for this game.
Absolutely. And
come break us down. I fucking dare you. That's what he's going to do.
3/4 of the possession, just about. I think it was 72%. and they tripled you all up on shots on target,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little worrisome. But that being said, Pickford had a great game, made a ton of saves.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got some good blocks in, and had your chances yourselves, even though they had the ball so much.
Yep.
And boy, did you make it count.
Oh, my God. Well, first off, let's mention Ole had to shuffle around the lineup, and I don't hold it against Ole for shuffling around the lineup. At some point, you have to fucking rest players. The amount of competitions you are playing in, you have to rotate, you have to rest players.
Especially Ronaldo's 36 years old.
Right. You can't just keep expecting him to fucking play every fucking minute for you. You can't, right? And you have another, veteran presence in Cavani that can do it. And,
that's a little younger than Ronaldo.
and by the way, fucking Martial knows how to fucking play forward, like let these guys play. My biggest problem with United currently is it feels like they're walking on the pitch, and I'm not sure if this is coaching or not, but they're walking on the pitch and they're just going, oh yeah, we're United. So we're going to maintain possession. And at some point, you all are going to piss off and get out of our way and let us win. Newsflash, teams like Villa and Everton are not going to let you fucking...
Correct.
They're not going to be a pushover. Like
I said, with such little of the ball that you all had, I would point out that Manchester United's backline looks frail.
Yeah.
Because why are you allowed, with just 28% of the ball, why are you allowed to have 4 shots on target?
Yeah. Yeah.
They should have locked that down.
28%, we should have a shot on target.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right. How are they allowing that to happen? So I would venture to say that they're a bit frail at the back, even still. And this is after Varane shows up.
The Everton goal, the 3 players involved in it, fucking fantastic. Just Damari Gray getting the ball on the sideline.
It's a fantastic counterattack. And Decore cutting in.
Oh, Decore, and then giving it up to Towson, who smart enough to not put it on his stronger foot, just goes ahead and lets it go with his right foot because he
took it early.
Yep. De Gea had you saw De Gea. De Gea just kind of, there's nothing you can do.
He waited for him to come out and plant his feet.
Yeah.
And right when he saw both of his feet off the ground, that means he's planting and diving, right?
Yeah.
As soon as he saw both of his feet off the ground, he dispatched.
And you don't put that on a keeper because that's no man's land. He's either going near post or far post. You have no idea until he's swinging.
I actually felt bad for Jordan Pickford and the Martial ball that took a slight deflection. I think that took it away from him because you don't normally see Pickford get beat on his near post like that.
No,
and he did it.
Except for against Newcastle, he loves to give up the near post against Newcastle.
But that little deflection, I think, took it away from him.
Yeah,
for the opening goal. So and Yerry Mina. One could argue that ball should have never been passed.
But real quick, Towson
doing the Ronaldo celebration.
Shithousery. we celebrate shithousery here at the Drunken Night Football Show, and him running to the corner and doing the jump in the air and pointing his back thing was fucking priceless.
Now he came out and said it was a tribute to a great player.
Yep. Yeah. Sure it was. Yeah.
Just don't say anything.
Yep.
Just don't say anything. Or come out and say, yeah, that was a big middle finger.
Yeah.
Right? Give it to me properly. Yeah. I don't want this sugar-coated bullshit. Well, you've never played with him before. What do you care?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's a tribute to a great player. Fuck yourself. This isn't a retirement tour.
The Davies Mina, the goal that ended up ultimately being offsides, which Mina was offsides. Unfortunate, but he was.
Yeah.
If Davies takes that shot, Davies probably scores.
Yep.
In all likelihood. But unless you are a lethal, cutthroat, classic scorer, Salah, Mane, Lukaku, Ronaldo, if most players, I would say 90% of the players in the Premier League, you know what they're going to do? They're going to pass that ball.
Right.
They're going to see the easy tap in and they're going to pass that ball. It's just what's going to happen. It's going to fucking happen.
I hear you. It's unfortunate.
It's also unfortunate that all of Everton Twitter, they just love fucking blasting him. It doesn't matter what he does. It's unfortunate for Tom. He can't seem to ever catch a break. And it was like, kid actually in his sub appearance played his ass off, put himself in a good situation and fucking settle down. Like just settle the fuck down.
So that's the 3rd draw in 3 years for Everton at Old Trafford.
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to say about Ronaldo, the point I was going to bring up before is, do you think, the question I had for you, I should say, is do you think that the ownership and chief executive branch of Manchester United brought in Ronaldo, to speed up the process of firing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Because
Perhaps.
somebody like Ronaldo, who famously has friends over his house from the team and only serves 3 ounces of broccoli and 5 ounces of chicken breast,
Right.
and then asks if they want to go play football in the backyard on their downtime,
Yeah.
will not be having this fucking crackerjack bullshit.
It could be. And also, he's a big enough name and a big enough talent
That's what
to
I'm saying.
pull a good coach.
Exactly. But also to walk in and say, even deliver the news for him.
Yeah.
Can you go tell Ole he's fired?
Yeah. I don't disagree with that thought. I'm going to finish this segment with one very interesting thing. 7 matches, 6 goals and 4 assists between Townsend and Gray. That cost $2 million versus $103 million for the entirety of 2017, the year we like to call the year of the 10.
The year of the number 10s.
14 goals, 5 assists. That was Rooney, Gylfi, Sandro, Danny Klaassen, and Vlasic, who's now with West Ham. By the way, all 14 of those goals and 5 assists came from Rooney and Gylfi.
Yeah.
And 10 of those goals came from Rooney.
Right.
And everybody wonders how you finance a team and how you manage their salaries and the money you spend means so much. There's a reason why Everton was only able to spend $2 million this year. It's called still fixing 2017.
Yeah.
So
what I would say to that is Rooney's the only one that deserved to have money spent on him because he was doing the I'm coming back to my boyhood club where it all started so I can retire thing.
and he was a free.
Right. And he was free. It didn't cost anything.
That's the other 4 cost $103 million. The other 4. And
But
Sandro was only $6 million.
But Gylfi was already there, wasn't he?
No, he was brought in that year.
Gylfi.
He was brought in that year on
I get-
$54 million. It was at the time a record signing for us.
That's right. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he
yeah.
still is the record signing.
Probably.
I believe Pickford might have been part of that year too. I'm not positive.
Any update there? Nothing.
On
Gylfi.
Gylfi, nothing.
Still
I've heard
nothing.
nothing.
All mum's the word, huh?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
That's an interesting way to end this segment. Couple of clubs new to the top end of the table, and the way they're currently playing, they won't be falling back any fucking time soon. Brentford 2, West Ham 1, Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. I would have put this in the first segment. There was no place to really put it. Best game of the weekend was Brentford West Ham.
It was a great game.
Hands down. It was better
Overall.
than Liverpool City.
Overall, yes.
Yes.
I agree.
It was the best game of the weekend.
After just 2 minutes and Buemo clipped the crossbar, I mean, they made their intentions known from the fucking start, right?
And Fabianski had himself a day, too.
he
He was
had a
making
great-
some fucking saves.
It had a great save from Ivan Toney. And Antonio headed just wide. I thought it clipped the bar, and then luckily they showed the, kind of sky cam angle, and it showed that it hit the water bottle of.
That was Zuma. That wasn't Antonio. That was Zuma who did
that was Zuma.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But headed it just wide and hit the water bottle. So from the other angle, the television angle looked like it had hit the post.
Got over 2 defensemen on the backside. And
Yeah.
it was a pinpoint header.
Like
it was just
towering header.
It was
Yeah,
an inch short. I mean,
Yep.
he did everything right. It just didn't go in.
yeah, funny. Mel described you the same way.
Very good. Thanks.
Little bit of fortune in the opener, though, after what appeared to be a good double save.
Yeah, exactly.
This was the second one.
This was the second one.
He did so well to get up. Now, granted, he probably shouldn't have put the initial save back into play like that, but I don't really think there was a lot else he could have done.
It's a one-on-one. You, as a keeper, you're just diving and hoping to knock it away.
Yeah.
And that's
it
all you can do. And that's what he did. He knocked it away.
It happened.
Somebody
to fall
was
for
running
Buemo.
through.
He got up well. He dove well again, but it was just behind the line.
Yep.
But again, it was just one of those. Everybody did their job, and it's just a little unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's a goal. It's what happens.
It's not very often can you pinpoint something and go, that was the mistake there. This is the moment in which he knew he fucked up.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
That didn't happen in this or the McCarthy change.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was very well done. Benrahma almost scored about 3 or 4 times.
Jesus, putting everything off the post. They were like, before the game, they're like, hey, everybody keep an eye on Benrahma. He used to play for Brentford. Apparently, Benrahma got that fucking memo. Because he was
time he touched the ball,
involved
he shot.
everywhere.
Yeah. Every time he touched the ball, he shot. And they were all very, very close.
Yeah. It was insanity.
But West Ham really did, after the break, West Ham really started to dominate.
Just hammering and hammering
turn
and
the
hammering.
Screw, pun intended,
Yeah.
I assume. Brentford did held strong for about 30 minutes, but Bowen took a half volley with a plum.
You talk about the Chilwell goal.
With a plum.
Oh.
Yeah, with his off foot as well.
His off
Because Bowen's
foot,
left-footed.
like an inch off the ground, an inch inside the post. I mean, just,
Hey,
you don't get more perfectly hit than that. I mean,
Listen.
it just zinged.
if he played for Accrington Stanley, Ben could take a week off. We don't need to mow that part of the grass.
That is
okay?
perfectly
Fucking
manicured. Thank you
worm
very
burner.
much.
Yeah, worm burner. That thing
Wow.
was flying. It was
And then-
fantastic.
And then continued, like, Brentford was up for the fucking action. They kept going back at him. West Ham still had chances. I mean, the game was flying.
Oh, yeah.
And it was interesting that it had still a ton of action to it because, let's face it, West Ham did attempt to slow it down some, and they did a decent job of it. Just Brentford went, okay, so you're going to throw a different game at us than the week before with Liverpool, where it was just fucking mayhem. They're like, okay, we're good with this. Like, we'll play this way too, which is great to just
It was
see
really
them.
hard in a game to be able to change that as well from a brand new side to the Premier League.
You know, it's a lot of season. We'll say that all the time. It's a lot of season. They're a new team. There's a lot to learn. But right now,
That's what I keep saying about my fantasy team.
they are answering the fucking call. Like, they are, it doesn't matter what style you play against them. They're like, okay, we'll play that game.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Deep into stoppage time, Wisa volleyed home following a good save from Fabianski again.
Like,
Some
some people are saying that
it was kind
Fabianski should have held it. I'm like, at that,
it came at him at pace,
It
weird
just-
angle.
yes, it was at his face and hands, and he was a little off the ground, but at that pace and angle, and how quickly that ball came in on a corner, no, you knock it away.
And
You knock it away.
But I think, honestly, because there was another header involved from the West Ham defense before it fell to Wisa.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucked that up.
Yeah.
That's the you fucked up moment.
Defense, get the fucking ball out of
Why
here.
did you not get it out of there? In my opinion, personally. But but Wisa with a great strike and kind of fit it, between a lot of traffic there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And scored. And I love his little meditation celebration. Yeah. That's
Sit
pretty
down.
good.
It was pretty great.
That's brilliant.
And then, of course, our girl Jane just giving us the full recaps
Love it.
on Facebook when it's
Loving it.
actually working is awesome.
I want to see if they get pumped.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I don't think they will because they have enough going for it. Like Leeds last season. They
they'll
never
stick
really
around.
got pumped.
Yeah.
But I want to see if
Well,
she
even when
does-
Leeds got pumped, it was 7-2 because they scored goals too.
No, yeah. But I want to see if she visits these match
old
reports.
thumping.
These match reports with the same vigor and enthusiasm when she's on the back of a fucking
when City
hiding.
lays down a 5-0
Yeah.
They're like, oh well, we got our
Jane,
introduction to the Premier League today.
Where you at, Jane? Yeah.
For the Irons,
It'll be like you know how Jesus wept is famously the shortest verse
Yes.
in the Bible. It'll be Brentford fucked it. City dominated. It'll just be what
nice
I mean?
and simple. For the Irons, shake this off. Just shake it off. You're doing.
They're
You're,
winning in Europe. The top in their group in the Europa
Exactly.
League. They're
You're
still thereabouts in the Premier League right now.
you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Correct.
You come back to a tough match. You have Everton when you come back from the break, which is going to be a good. I mean, it's going to be a very boring match. It'll be 1-0 to either side. That will be the West Ham Everton match. But
Yeah, pretty much.
But for them, they've been able to rotate players. They've been able to use their backups, like Fornals and Yarmolenko and guys like that. They've been able to use them in Europe, and they're performing. This was just a hiccup. Keep moving on,
Right. You can't let your heads drop yet.
And
You got to figure also. Brentford
Moyes isn't going to let that happen either.
Brentford would have looked at this that this could be a scalp. They would have looked at this before the season started and went, this could be a scalp here.
Excellent point.
It's a big team in Europe. They're focused on other things, right?
Yep.
And if they have an injury or two or haven't fully integrated somebody new into the squad, there could be weaknesses we could exploit.
It's in London, so it's an easy trip for us.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you just got to look past that for the Irons, at least. Ugly fucking day on the South Coast, man. Just pouring down rain and just
pissing it down.
Oh, and honestly, Brighton the better of the chances.
Yeah, I would say so. Also, they kind of both of them exchanged kind of weak blows in the first 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But Brighton really started to turn the screw and grow into the game. Arsenal were living dangerously for sure, much of the first half. But Brighton couldn't convert. Ramsdale was called on a couple of times. Two saves that I can think of off the top of my head that were amazing.
Yeah.
One of which won't be recorded as a save. It was a cross that came in.
And he knocked it away.
And that the defense kind of fell apart on, really.
Mm-hmm.
No big surprise. And Neil Maupay was stealing in and obviously going to finish the chance.
Big hand that just swiped it away. Yeah, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
But what I will say is Leno was prone to making saves like that. And the defense was so switched off that it was that rebound that got put away. The defense seems to be trusting in Ramsdale, and they are responding to Ramsdale because they are continuing to stay focused. They're continuing to track back. And when he had that ball, I think it may have been Odegaard was there and pumped the ball, 60 yards down the field, just got it away again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to say the midfield and the attack are responding to the defense and the keeper of this team as well. Very, very much so. Not the best from the Gunners, but it's a point. And for you guys in the building process, it's what you need. It's what you needed. It's
a place that's been a bit of a bogey for us in the last few seasons, a team that's been a bogey for us in the last few seasons. Remember, Project Restart began last year when football came back. Brighton Arsenal at Arsenal, and they beat us. I think it was at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they beat us.
That was the whole less pay time because Leno got hurt on a nudge that happened from Maupay.
It fucked his knee up.
And ultimately brought in Emmy, which Emmy won you a cup, and then Emmy went to Villa. So, Mel, say thank you, Neil Maupay.
Thank you, Maupay.
There you go.
Emmy fucks.
Fucking me button.
Didn't fuck this weekend. They were fuck less this weekend.
Yeah. Fucking pissed me off. Screwed my bet again.
Fucked your bet again. So, here's the big question, Sam. Do you see either Brentford or Brighton in the top 10 at the end of the season?
No.
I agree. I don't either.
The reason is I think Brighton aren't very deep, especially defensively.
Right.
So if there is an injury, I think they will begin to fall apart.
Yeah.
Brighton are also known. This is the first season they've done this, right? They usually start the season well, but they usually start the season in 8th.
Right.
And then they go on the Brighton slide. Yeah, they do the Brighton 2-step right down to 17.
Yeah, exactly.
So we haven't seen, there just isn't the history there. There isn't the, I don't know how to say it. I can't think of the word. There isn't the evidence, I guess, is probably the best way to go on. There isn't the evidence to go on that this will continue yet.
Yeah.
Because same managers last 2 seasons.
Yep.
And they've done that slide each year.
So
now they look more mature, but will that pan out?
Brentford, enjoy the ride while you have it. It's going to become a harsh reality as the season goes on. It's, I like their style of play, but I just ultimately don't see them finishing in the top 10. I see them in like 14th, 15th place. And with Brighton, it's very simple. How about you fucking win a game after January?
Yeah, fair. Absolutely fair.
I was letting you hang out to dry because I knew that's what I wanted to end it on, and I wasn't going to end it on that until you were done talking. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Leeds 1, Watford 0, Burnley 0, Norwich 0, Wolves 2, Newcastle 1, Spurs 2, Villa 1, Palace 2, Leicester 2. Leeds are finally on the fucking board, to the relief of every fucking Leeds fan out there.
No shit. Well, they were really the only ones that played in the game.
Yeah.
At the weekend. Watford weren't terribly involved. They had all of the play. They almost shot themselves in the foot late on, though. Meslier dropping the ball, hitting it against his own knee, and it finding the back of the net. but they were bailed out by VAR and a bit of a rugby tackle there at the front post.
A little bit of a rugby tackle, a little bit. Try to get through these a little quickly here for the end because we're already running a little long. With Watford, I will say this much. Their defense is stout. They don't give up a ton of goals. And if teams don't pay attention, a.k.a. Southampton, Burnley, and Newcastle, there could be 2 promoted teams that stay up this year.
Yeah, and Sarr could keep them up single-handedly if he gets the right opportunities. Yeah,
because right now, if you look at them in the record, we talk about timely wins and the wins you need to get. They've gotten a couple of timely wins already. Yep. So who's to say they won't get a timely win when they're facing Newcastle or Southampton? Like, there'll be opportunities for them.
From the Leeds side, though, you would have liked Patrick Bamford to get a goal at some point because he started the season very, very slowly here. Yeah. I imagine once he scores, the floodgates will kind of open a little bit, and you could see him going a bit like a 4 or 5 game scoring streak.
Yeah.
But they're getting goals from somewhere.
We've all dealt with this. Like you dealt with it earlier this season after the 0-3 start. What did you think after Norwich? Thank God we fucking won.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. There was one thing. It didn't matter how it happened. You're just like, thank fucking God we won.
And how ugly it was. Exactly that. And this wasn't pretty. It was Diego Llorente.
Yeah.
It just kind of stuck out a hopeful boot, and it happened to find its way between a butthole-sized shape and 2 players to find the back of the net.
And I am excited as hell, Sam, to say the following statement for the first time this season. Burnley Football Club and Norwich Football Club played a professional match in the English Premier League this week.
Nothing happened.
Claret's got to be wishing that they got all 3, but you know what? You didn't lose 3. You at least got 1.
Listen.
For Burnley, that's what it's got to be.
I'll tell you, it's 3 sentences. 6 shots on target from 25 shots overall between the 2 teams. Both goalkeepers played well. Norwich with the better of the chances despite only having 2 shots. Nick Pope doing well to stop both efforts and being man of the match. That really sums it up, when the goalkeeper is man of the match. For fuck's sake.
They played a professional match. So, Sam, last season we devoted a lot of time to the cock. Because the cock was
wait for this.
Firm and stout and resolute. But the problem is the cock's been hurt a lot. A lot of injuries with the cock.
Yeah, it started the season a bit flaccid.
Yeah. And there's been issues. So now, especially considering what went on with Wolves, this is no longer the year of the cock. It's the year of the Hwang.
It is the year of the Hwang. 2 goals.
Because the Hwang was prophetic and stable and pulsing and on target.
He was mature.
Yeah.
He was astute. He penetrated into the box well.
Sam, please tell everybody what your notes said for this game.
Pretty even on chances and possession. Bit of a fortunate equalizer. Dick jokes.
And knowing listeners like Keith and Alan who are diehard, big time Newcastle supporters, they completely appreciate the fact that right now
we're not talking about Newcastle.
We're just having a dick joke conversation, and that is it. Because it is the year of the Hwang, Sam. It is the year of the Hwang. Now, there is one other weird thing. So one of our listeners of the show who is on Twitter, I talk with constantly, Miss LH, huge Newcastle supporter, at the 37-minute mark tweeted, Hendricks is going to score a goal.
And he did, damn it.
What kind of voodoo witchcraft shit is that? And I mean, like, of all the people, Jeff fucking Hendricks, that's who we're like, this is who we're going to have the voodoo Jedi mind trick for. It's Jeff Hendricks is going to score a fucking goal.
I want to know where the fucking goalkeeper was for that goal, too, by the way. What little fucking field trip did he go on out of the side of the 6-yard box?
Saul likes to go on adventures so far. We've seen this multiple times during the season with them. He makes a bunch of great saves, and then he just has like a moment in like the box where he's like chasing butterflies and like blowing dandelions all over the place.
He's like, what is he? Where was he? And then he came back and like he has studs on the bottom of his boots, presumably.
Yeah.
But he did like slid, did a Michael Jackson slide.
Well, he's moonwalking.
And Jeff Hendrick found the far corner. It's a very fucking weird goal. And that makes it even more voodoo shit. It's because it shouldn't have fucking happened.
Yeah,
Just really weird.
she willed it. She willed it into existence. Just want to understand why. When you get one opportunity to will something into existence, Jeff fucking Hendrick is who you pick to will it into existence.
Well, yeah. Well, listen, if the Newcastle defense is the wing woman in this situation and Raul Jimenez is the wing man in this situation, he really did his Hwang proud because he took all the blows on the chin in the build up to both goals for Wolves.
Year of the fucking Hwang, my friend. Year of the fucking Hwang. Spurs.
I even wrote 2 great bits of play.
Spurs desperately needed that win after the huge slide that they've been on.
No, they didn't. They did not.
Well, come on. Let's try to be partial here, Killer.
No, let's not. You start the show with we are a completely biased recap.
That's true. We are.
Yeah, and I needed this for my fucking bet, so it cost me money, too. Villa fucked me again. Big surprise.
Well, Villa fucks.
Yeah. Harry Kane almost caught Martinez off his line.
Dude.
Bit of a weird passage of play as the
wannabe Beckham one.
Yeah, but who was it? Was Tyrone Mings and Dombele maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody he was trying to stand him up. They both were grabbing each other and then just kind of fell over. It was really weird.
I believe
there was
Martinez
that Kansa
chuckled a little bit after that. And then there was the time that Harry Kane was one-on-one with Martinez and couldn't get by, and then got a rebound and couldn't get that by. And I'd be less upset if that Villa lost if Harry Plugs Kane had actually scored, because for some reason he's number 1 draft pick and he's on my fantasy team, yet I've gotten fuck all points from him.
because he don't care. He wants to be at City.
Clearly.
Kids, would you like more Bloody Mary? Please pass your glasses this way.
I gotta say, we were competitive. It was a good game.
Hey, it's been a hell of a murderer's row for you. That was 4 not easy games.
Yeah.
And you went 2-2 in it, so you got to be happy.
Hoiberg with a decent goal, though.
Oh, yeah.
That was worthy of being a forward's finish. Just a passed ball into the far corner.
Ollie Watkins with his.
That was a great goal as well.
I saw it coming, too. Big B was barking at me, and I was getting ready to take him out to the potty, and then I saw Danny Ings coming down, and then I saw Target right in position, and I saw Watkins coming to the middle, and I just stopped.
Yeah.
I just knew it was coming, and then boom, boom, bloop, and it was so sweet.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Boom, boom,
And
bloop.
I'm literally on the phone with Your Highness celebrating the score when
Pass
Spurs.
him as Bloody Mary, please.
I can't talk and pass at the same
Yeah,
time.
apparently.
When Spurs scored the second goal, but
How about you pass and talk and do shots on Malort
I'm
all at
just
the
going to
same
do my
time?
shot of Malort because I'm pissed that if Spurs were going to beat Villa, I couldn't at least get fucking fantasy points off that useless loser, Harry Plugs Kane. So
2 things.
fuck the Villa.
Matty Target had to make that challenge,
Oh, yeah.
or else Lucas Moore was putting that away.
Oh,
So blaming him that I saw a lot of on the internet this weekend
Target
is ridiculous and has to be by mouth breathers that don't know how to play football.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Target's
By that, I
underrated.
don't mean Harry Kane.
Yeah, Target's underrated. Harry Kane's overrated.
Now, somebody did share a meme of Harry Kane's player card from
No,
FIFA
It's Harry Plugs Kane.
that has his dribbling rating at an 81, and they were astounded, and the caption was, "Have they not seen him speak?" Because his dribbling should be more like a 95.
It was pretty great. I think that was Tupper who did that one, wasn't it?
Fucking funny.
Pretty great. So moving on to the final match, what the fuck are we supposed to make of the Foxes?
I don't know. I'm nervous for Brendan Rodgers, though, to be quite frank.
It just,
We saw with Ranieri, he won them the league. They had a bad start to the season, and he was gone.
yeah.
So I would be a little concerned for old Brendy because he won him the FA Cup. He won him the Community Shield. They've kind of had a shit start to the season.
Yeah. And like I told you last week, I feel like this is them coming back to the pack. Because it doesn't seem like there's really an answer. And
Soyuncu looks like a man completely bereft of confidence.
And I guess like Cassagna kicked a fucking dog or something because he's not in game. He's getting
Can't get a fucking
subs.
team.
He gets subs and that's it. And it's like, that seems off. And then, Madison is in and out of shape constantly. And I mean, I feel like they added some decent pieces to the team as a whole, and it just none of it's fucking clicking right now for them at all. And here's the thing. They get out to a fucking 2-0 lead. Now, I'm going to take a moment here, Sam, and give you a little something to make you proud for the moment. Of hard men in the history of professional football, the Mount Rushmore, the 4, probably one of the first 1 or 2 names on that list would be Crystal Palace manager, former Arsenal great Patrick Vieira.
Yes.
I would like to think that at halftime, Mr. Vieira insulted mothers and children of the players of Crystal Palace.
No shit, right?
Because Palace came into the second half, and allow me to just steal a little thought from Mel and Villa. Palace fucked in the second half.
Yeah.
Palace fucked.
Big time.
That was they came out and they were damaged in that locker room. Vieira damaged them in the locker room.
Absolutely had to. They were fantastic. I do think on Jamie Vardy's the second goal of the night from Jamie Vardy, I do think that Guaita should have done better with that near post.
Yeah. He's
in
prone
opinion.
the occasional mishap from him, and I agree, could have done better.
But in the second half, you're absolutely right. Edouard hit the post. Hit the crossbar in the second half, which could have been different. It was very good work from him.
Yeah.
At least they did finally put the first goal in. Good reactions after his initial effort was blocked. Another volley. Did set his body correctly. Got a clean strike on him. Was good. And then bunch of headers, pinball headers, back and forth. And finally, Jeffrey Schlupp stood up and headed the ball into the back of the net to grab the equalizer for Villa.
The former Fox.
But you're absolutely right. The Mount Rushmore of hard men, one of which is Patrick Vieira, definitely gave his team a right bollocking at halftime.
It's either Roy Keane or Patrick Vieira is 1 and 2, right? It's 1A and 1B. Those are the,
it's really
those
1A,
are the
1B,
first.
yeah.
Those are the first 2 that get chiseled. They might even be chiseled together.
It's 1A, 1B, and then number 3. They don't do that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and
Speaking of that, at the pitch side, on the Sky Sports coverage of Manchester City and Liverpool, Micah Richards, who struck up an unlikely partnership with Roy Keane, the former Villa and Manchester City defender.
Yep.
A lot younger than Roy Keane as well.
Yeah, of course.
Did step up there, and what the host of the proceedings said to Micah Richards, like, who do you look up to? Because they had an interview with Curtis Jones and and Phil Foden, being young players in massive teams and how that's translating. And he said, who did you look up to as a kid? He goes, when I was playing, Patrick Vieira came in as one of the best midfielders I've ever played with and a real leader and, a lot better than somebody I'm standing next to right now. And then he just couldn't, he started laughing and then he just couldn't look at him. And he goes, I can't even look over there because I could feel his eyes burning a hole in it. And Roy Keane just had a little wry smile on his face, which is pretty funny. But they did a television show as well, which I have to fucking find on YouTube, where they kind of traveled around during the summer in a car together and did like road trip and just talking about shit. And it just is brilliant because they're so opposite. Because Roy Keane was an alcoholic. Yeah. So he's very kind of stoic, right? Right. After a loss, he's angry, but he's not super angry. After a win, there's no celebration. He's just very stoic, where before he kind of was led by raw emotion and his alcoholism. Right. This is very funny.
So over under 3, how many Crystal Palace players actually cried as Patrick Vieira screamed at him at halftime?
I would say probably under, because I feel like Palace has been through the ringer a bit. So I think they're kind of used to it.
Yeah, but old Roy Boy had never gave a skull fucking like Patrick Vieira. Okay?
That's true too, yeah. That's fair. You might be right on the over.
You know who definitely cried? Zaha.
Sure Money.
All right, it is time for Sure Money. This is the segment where we bet our hard-earned money in the hopes that you'll take advice from our tried and true surefire systems. That being said, we all missed this week. But I only missed just. Villa fucked me again. But Sammy, how did yours go?
Well, first off, we need to, it's very important. We love when, obviously you all are doing it legally and responsibly, but we love to hear when you all fuck off bets. That's very, very important. And Keith, who's already having a hard enough time of a go of it, being a Newcastle supporter, reached out and said, wanted to let producer Mel know her team fucked me on my Sam Graham special 3-way. Glad I only dropped $20 on that stupid bet. He had picked Chelsea to win. They did. Leeds to win. They did. Villa to win. They did not.
Not good gambling.
No, not at all. Still enjoying the show, even though my team is going down. At least I look forward to a Tyneware derby in my future.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, pints at the concessions will be cheaper. Sausage rolls will be cheaper.
Yeah, it's all going to work out.
Discounted Sports Direct with championship tickets if you show your ticket stub.
All right, so Arsenal, much like me, could not be bothered to win an easy match, so I'm now down $245.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Not sure you're aware of this, Sam, but 16.6666667% of the time it works 100% of the time. For my couple losers, I say, why can't your team be bothered to win easy ones? Is what I'm putting in here for the old couple losers. And I'm going to tell you, Sam.
Wait till you lose to them too. No, I'll remind you how easy it is.
I think I'm going to start picking whack shit crazy parlays because clearly sensible good bets, which is what I have done the entire way so far. No, so good.
Yeah.
No, so good.
That's how it goes. All right. Pat's on the line.
And now it's time for our degenerate gambling friend, Pat's Pick of the Week.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. We wouldn't have had you call in because we're not making bets this week. Obviously, it's International Week, but neither one of us could fucking figure out what the hell you bet and whether or not you hit or not. So why don't you explain what the fuck happened and how much you won or lost?
Yeah, so I hit 3 out of my 5 bets, so I actually lost $79.
Okay, you lost. Okay.
Yes, I did
Terrible
lose.
with money.
I'm down $279. Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, if I would have hit one more bet, I would have hit for like over $1,000, you know. But yeah, it still was fun. I mean, I had a lot going, you know, a lot to root for. Arsenal getting the draw was actually nice on Saturday, so I had a lot to look forward to on Sunday. And then obviously the 2 bets with the big game, Liverpool and Manchester City. You know, so it hit the over early. It was 0-0 going into halftime, and then they pulled off like four goals in the second half. So I mean, that was crazy to hit the over like that. But yeah, you know, I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, when you get that much action and you only have to pay $79, I mean, that's not a bad little weekend. Had great college football, and yeah, had a good college football, good NFL. Played a lot of golf this weekend. I'm very tired. So went to the Maryland game on Friday. That was terrible. See, that was the most depressing part of my weekend. Was starting off with that Maryland game.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Great first quarter, and it took a second into the second quarter for the game to be like just completely out of control.
Be like, let me go out to the parking lot and drink because at least I can drink there.
Yeah, no
I've
shit.
been in these Friday night football games, and there always been blowouts. So it is what it is.
It happens, but so we'll get up with you next week at some point. Get your bet for the new round of games when they come around, if that's all right with you, good sir.
Yeah, I will be down in Myrtle Beach playing some golf. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to it.
Drunk bets from Pat. This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. Can't wait. All right, dude. Have a good night.
All right, man. You too. See you.
Thank you. So,
Sam, real quick, we just got to call this out because she asked me to pour her
Son of a bitch.
a baby shot. I poured her a baby shot,
so I'm
and she
hungover
didn't
from
finish
the
it.
weekend. Full disclosure, I drank a lot on Saturday night. I drank a lot on Sunday night. And producer Mel is not known as a drinker. She's known as a partaker of
Were you
fresh
blinded by the
air.
lights? Is that why you were hungover from the weekend?
That's exactly. I was
Okay.
blinded by the lights.
Can you feel your face?
Oh
I'm
my
just
God,
wondering.
Look at that. There's not like
No, it's I'm sorry, Miss Thing. We all have responsibilities.
Apparently, I did not fully finish my shot of Malort, and there's like 3 drops in it.
that's a bit more than 3 drops first.
I didn't say how big the drops are.
And besides,
So
you
it's
could chase
not
it with
specific.
Bloody Mary and let us know
I
how
did
that works.
Full disclosure, chasing Malort with Bloody Mary, not good. Also, chasing Malort with the hot mimosa that I'm drinking.
Uh-huh.
Also, not good.
Okay, very good. Maybe try it with the Oktoberfest then, Miss Thing.
Son of a bitch.
All right, Sammy, go ahead and talk about your betting.
Let me tell you something real fast, okay?
Ew.
This is the Drunkard United football show. And it being 9 p.m. and your eyes being the size of the moon are not an excuse to not partaking in your Malort shot, okay? Anyway.
It's so bad. It's worse than Harry Plugs.
As I said, I missed. So I wrote on my Dort's Spirect Cup of Losers that I'm going to the clinic this week because I keep getting fucked by Villa. Obviously, Kitty missed as well.
Yep.
Which we talked about. So we don't have any bets this week because of the international break, but join us next week for some very high percentage punts.
All right. Well, that's pretty decent, but we give you more. We give you.
Oh, I didn't know you wrote something for the chicken.
Kitty the chicken.
Yes, apparently Kitty the chicken has a statement that I'm supposed to say here. So,
it was windy up at the coop.
You ready? You ready? Well, Kitty misjudged.
Quitty? You don't get to walk by that one.
You know what? I'm just going to reset and do it again and edit all of this out. I'm not going to edit it out.
I'll do it live.
Kitty misjudged the Toffee's tenacity and now sits at 2-4. Now, she's not terribly concerned because she knows she's the best here at picking games.
She is.
And she's quite confident that she'll be over 500 soon enough. Now, apparently, Kitty will be heading out this week for a little international break of her own.
She's a world traveler.
Well, I squeezed it out of her. She's apparently booked to go down to Peru.
Purdue, the college.
Peru.
She better not go to Purdue. We ain't gonna see Kitty no more.
That's a Freudian slip right there. She's going to Peru, not Purdue, for a bit of enlightenment. As she described it to me, details to follow.
Is Miss Thing going to drink some of that ayahuasca tea and go on a journey?
Could be.
You know what? When she comes back and she's betting well over 500, you know exactly where her inspiration came from.
Yeah, just had to clear the head. That's all.
Kitty the Oracle.
Kitty the Oracle. And you might not be as smart as my chicken, so please make sure you always gamble legally and responsibly.
Championship corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh no!
Fulham fucking it right off, aren't they?
Coventry pumped Fulham 4-1.
Jesus.
Bournemouth beat Sheffield United 2-1 to remain tops. Nottingham Forest with a rare win, although that is their third of the season. They're still in like 15th or something ridiculous.
Well, at least they're not in last.
QPR topped Preston and Stoke beat West Brom. That leaves Bournemouth tops, as I said before. West Brom still in second. Coventry in third. Stoke in fourth. Notables, QPR down in sixth. And Derby County still propping up the table in fucking dead last.
Ugh, not good.
No.
Not good at all.
But yeah,
Fulham's
Fulham's
on the Malort still. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Continue.
Fulham's still doing the old Marco Silva slide right down the table.
Hey, we started hot.
Yeah.
To quote the old football coach, there'll always be a sucker.
Hey, well, you know what? Cisco just got fired.
Yep.
They could always get Cisco in from Watford.
Oh, no, he got fired this weekend?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He got
Holy
fired,
shit.
yeah. And one of the other podcasts I listened to, which I'm not above ripping other shit off, said that Cisco got dumped like a truck.
You know what the saying is? If you're stealing from me, you're stealing twice. So,
Hey, Sammy, I might have gotten that one right on my predictions.
Oh, really? I didn't.
I didn't even know he got fired. I didn't even hear the news.
No,
Go figure.
We did him obviously after the transfer window shut, as we said before, and I fucking said Sean Dyche, and then that Monday or whatever it was, signed a 4-year contract.
Yep.
So I definitely did not get that right.
Yeah. It's fuck, man. Okay, well, that changes my opinion of what I said earlier in the show, where I was like, maybe the defense will stick around. No, Watford's in trouble already.
Yeah.
It's in whatever happens to Watford. Sorry, Watford supporters. It's your owner's fault. It's what they do.
Yeah.
It is on them.
Cisco Munoz gone.
Yeah. All right.
Gone.
Oh, don't sweat yourself so much. Hit the mute button.
Oh, I can't wait till we go out on injury time.
That's going to
Which
wrap.
you can find at www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow. It's called professional. No, I found a transition to plug. Okay,
It was seamless the way he did it.
just call me the electrician because I'm plugging shit in. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Well, give it to me up top.
All right, very good. Fuck your parting words. There are none. Next up is injury time, and Sam already told you how to find it, so everybody can fuck off. Go to the Drip Shack and buy a fucking shirt, would ya? Peace.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston. Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stuff the Malort. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham.
Sam Graham.